Welcome to Sold Sistas podcast. I'm your girl Latrice.
I'm Future Davis.
And we are the Sold Sisters.
Did you drop that episode on our page?
Which one?
Well, we should have at least 2 by now.
The second, we didn't drop the second one yet.
Well, did you drop the perspective?
Oh, yeah.
So when we gonna get it together for y'all. Me and Latrice gonna get it together for y'all, so we'll know exactly when we dropping. She done gave me the Opus clip login, so we know we can post it and promote some information. We gonna get it together, but we have figured out what shooting looks like. So that's half the battle. We getting this thing together.
We are.
I saw something that made me think about you, and I'm like, we need to get it together. So I saw the 2 young ladies who, the name of their podcast, I believe, is Pour Minds, P-O-U-R Minds. And you know the 2 girlfriends? They have edgier content.
I haven't watched the episode yet.
I haven't watched it. I'm sorry, ladies. I love y'all content. When I get my hair done, my hairstylist puts it on sometimes. We just very busy girls. But I do follow them on Instagram, and I do, I'm loving watching their journey and watching their glow up. And they spoke about the fact that they started on YouTube together. They met at the club and they started on YouTube together and stayed consistent. And now them girls is going crazy. And I'm like, see, that's what I want for me and my sister. My soul sister.
We'll do that. We'll get there. But the episode that I just recently posted for Soul Sisters is the crossover episode with the perspective. So that was the episode with us and our husbands.
That was a good episode. Everybody who has watched that episode said they love it. So if you have not had an opportunity to go look at the episode, make sure you go look at the crossover episode.
It's actually going pretty crazy on the Soul Sisters page. Yeah. It's doing pretty good. So
It's good.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all watch the episode.
We might just be doing a perspective if y'all keep putting on. With my co-host, regular guest, if y'all don't stop playing with us.
But the people in the comments, I think they might want to see a part 2. It sounds like that's been kind of the response. They want to see the husbands back on.
Okay.
So I don't know. And they wanted a little bit more messier. So, and that's not me. I promise. It's not
a little bit of you. It's a little bit of them.
It's like, give us some more real stuff. So y'all message and leave some comments below and let us know what y'all want us to talk about. What should we ask the husbands? What do y'all want to ask us?
Yeah. What do you want to know about what marriage looks like? Because I feel like we were very transparent with the information that we did give based on the questions we answered. So,
we definitely answered a lot of questions, but it's some more out there.
Of course.
we'll see what that looks like. But today, one of the things I did want to talk about was something that stuck with me. I had my client actually just call my phone just now. She's a newer client for me.
Right.
She worked with another real estate agent to buy her house, and now she's in a situation where she's going through foreclosure.
Okay.
And she was just like, Latrice, everybody teaches you how to buy a house, but nobody teaches you how to keep one. And it touched me. Like, it hurt, because she was just like, if I had known this and I had known that and I had known about these different resources, I wouldn't be in this position.
What does she feel like that the last agent, what information does she feel like the last agent did not give her?
I think she just went into it blindly. Like, she knew how to, hey, here's your numbers. This is what you need to do to get in the house. But after that, beyond that, I don't think she knew anything. So I don't know what all happened. I think she ended up losing her job or something like that. So, money got funny. But there are resources and there are programs out there.
For sure.
But if you don't know where to turn to, you just kind of just existing and things are just happening for you, as opposed to my client calling me saying, hey, Latrice, I've done a couple of loan modifications and I'm behind on my bills. What do we need to do? And I'm like, put your house on the market.
Right.
We're going to make enough where you can go and get into a rental or something comfortable where you aren't on the streets. So just being able to even do that, have that conversation.
You're right. Because even having the conversation of, if you end up in a situation where you are about to fall behind. Because there are different things, like you said, loan modifications, them pushing, that payment to the end of your loan and figuring out how to make it make sense for you so you don't end up in a position where you are getting late. Because maybe that house is too big for you and you need to downsize. Or maybe you just need an opportunity to regroup. I'm all about taking a small step back to take a big step forward. So, there are resources. Do you want to talk about like some of the things that
you should know?
Owners should know if they happen to fall behind?
So before we even get into falling behind, I wanted to talk about taxes. Not enough realtors tell their clients that just because this is your payment when you get into the house, that doesn't mean that's going to be the same payment next year.
No, that's true.
So that's the conversation I have with all of my clients. Like, hey, make sure that this is comfortable, and not just kind of comfortable, but make sure it's beyond comfortable. Because if your taxes reassess and the taxes go up because now your property value has gone up,
can you afford it?
Can you afford it?
That's a real conversation, because I talk to my client about taxes, and I also tell my clients, don't push it to the limit, because you just never know. What if the insurance goes up? The taxes and insurance both play a part in your mortgage payment. And if you have a mortgage as escrow, and if the mortgage company gets whammed that this is went up or this is went this way and you need more money in escrow, they're just going to increase your mortgage payment. So you got to make sure that you have, like you said, that wiggle room for your mortgage to go up. And I'm not being judgmental because I make great money, but based on my bills, it's always just like me reassessing, and it's a work in progress, but making sure that you are setting aside some money. A lot of us were not taught to save for emergencies, and we are brought up believing that your tire busted is an emergency. That's not an emergency in real life. Like your car blowing up, like how Destiny car blew up and she had insurance. That's an emergency. That's something that's completely unpredictable. And she still had insurance. But I know me, I'll speak for myself. I was raised to think that average wear and tear and everyday things were an emergency, because when I was growing up, my mom didn't have the money for those things. So it becomes an emergency. It's just like, no, we got to do a better job of saving something. I remember a guy who I worked with told me, like, Future, you're supposed to pay yourself first. This was before I was an entrepreneur, just working my regular 9 to 5. Well, I worked at a 10 to 6. I worked midnights. But he talked to me about, paying myself first. And he like, Future, have a number that you want to pay yourself. But even if you can't do that and all you can do is $15, get in a habit of saving something, because it will compound and it will save you in certain situations. And that has been like a gift to me. Something as small as that. People are scared to save because they're like, well, I don't have a couple $100, or I don't have a couple. It can be $5. Saving something is better than not saving anything at all. And it'll save you from those situations as well.
My church offered this course, and my mom and I took the class together. It was the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University class. And they talked about the debt snowball, and they talked about having 6 months of reserves. So that's always been kind of like stuck in my head. Like, you need to have 6 months
for sure
of emergency money, because life happens. You can buy the house, you could lose your job, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
And then especially the situations where you're buying a house based off of your income on paper, but you're really counting you and that partner, and then that partner leaves, and then you can't rely on that income anymore. Like, you have to be prepared.
You got to be prepared. I've had some uncomfortable situations with buyers. Hey, you buying this based on not even like your husband or your wife, but your boyfriend, girlfriend's income. And it's just like, they're not going on a mortgage. Nothing is tethering them to the house, which is fine. But also understand that if they leave, it's still going to be your responsibility. I watched one of my clients go through foreclosure because her and her boyfriend bought a house and broke up after they bought the house, and literally like started, that's when you find out who somebody really is. The pettiness ensued, where it's like, I'm not paying that mortgage, even though they both were still living together. Or I'm going to keep the house and you can move out, and then not paying a mortgage after she moves out. So it's just like, you do have to protect yourself. But speaking of Dave Ramsey, I'm not in love with Dave Ramsey. I have the mentality, I love some of his principles, do not get me wrong, but I have the mentality to make more money. That's just my mindset. I'm going to make me some more money. But he does have some good principles, like having that $1,000 saved initially before we even start focusing on 6 months worth of reserves, having $1,000 for an emergency fund saved, and then going and, working on a month, 2 months, 3 months, just make it make sense for you. But, I think because when people hear that large number of 6 months, like, how I'm going to do that? And it's just like, Number one, just start with a budget and understand what your bills are. You know how many people don't really even understand how much money they spend in a month because they don't have no budget? Or I've been guilty of that, where we swiping like that card like it's not real money. We acting like it's play money. No, be clear on what your expenses are so you can understand what you can afford.
And I think that, I'm not going to say that, like, everything he says, like, I'm just,
Yeah.
like.
Oh, I know you not.
Because I'm not the greatest. But it's difficult.
Because Teresa called you. Y'all heard that story. I'm going to Tulum next week. Everybody ready?
I think I want to go for August for 41.
So she definitely.
But, okay, so I think, are a little bit spoiled because when you're an entrepreneur, you can say.
Sales.
Yeah, like in sales, then you can say, okay, well, this month I want to make this, or this month I need to make this. And it's just that. Like, okay, I just got to figure it out. But when you work a 9 to 5 and you have a cutoff, there is no additional money unless you have a side hustle or you have another stream of income. It's just like, this is where I'm limited. I know I'm not going to make more than X amount each month. So I think that's just something that people need to take into consideration. Like, hey, I need to have some money set aside, or I need to save, or...
And let's be clear, me and you didn't have this conversation before. This gonna be, this gonna sting a lot of people. Like I said when we just did my little YouTube episode. If you ain't got no money, it's because you don't want none. And I am a living testament to that. I remember when I was just living. Like, I always went to school, work, but not really trying to understand what it looks like to be an adult. And I'm still understanding what it looks like to be an adult. I'm a testament to many things. The more money you make, the more money you're going to spend. You need to have a budget at every level of your life. But what I will say is, I remember when I was broke, behind on all my bills, and got tired of being sick and tired, and made the decision to want more and do better. I just made the decision to want to be a better young woman. And with that came the responsibility of me being uncomfortable, where I was working my 80 hours and going to school and trying to spend time with my kids and going home and laying down. It was just like, no, you got to work these 16s. And I started working those 16s, and I would cry sometimes. I tell everybody this story. I would get off from my shift 10 to 6. I would get held over to work that next shift, that morning, that day shift. I would go in my car and cry because I wanted to go home so bad. I was tired. And I would wipe my tears and knew I had a plan at that point in my life, and I would take my butt back in there. And when I would leave, I would be like, that wasn't so bad. And made a decision to do a little bit more, even with my real estate business. Y'all all know that story. Just making a decision to get uncomfortable. And when I look back, it feels like it was quick. But when I really sat back and just really looked at that time in my life, it was a couple years of me living my life like that. Them Facebook memories will remind you of me saying, like, work the 16 on my way to go show houses. And it was just like getting my priorities in order. So a lot of times, even when you work that 16 or you work that traditional job and this is what you make, there are other ways to make money, whether it is overtime or you getting a second job for the time being, or doing something like DoorDash to make the extra money. If you don't have no money, it's because you don't want none. You are more comfortable being broke then you are willing to get uncomfortable to make you some money. So you are more comfortable being in that position, even though it's uncomfortable, because it's uncomfortable making money, especially in the beginning, and it's uncomfortable as hell being broke, not knowing how you gonna pay them bills. We have all been there. Y'all more content with being comfortable in y'all brokenness instead of getting a little uncomfortable to make sure that y'all can have some money.
Is
it a lie?
Too, y'all.
Is it a lie?
No, it's not. It's the truth. I'm not offended. I know. I pick my comfort from one day to the next. Like, you're going to be comfortable working hard, or, not even comfortable, uncomfortable working hard. Or you're going to be uncomfortable and broke. So, you got to make up your mind. But
let me say this, because you said I'm talking to you, and I am not perfect. One thing about me, though, I'll sit down and figure something out. Let me be quiet. I'll figure something out. But what I will say to you, Latrice, it's just like, you have different tools than I had when I was figuring it out. So really, it is going to be a period of you like buckling down. And it's just going to be like a period of unbalance. But you sitting down, we see it on Instagram all the time, but it is the truth. You sitting down and buckling down, give yourself 3 months. That's what a lot of y'all don't understand. You give yourself 3 to 6 months, you literally can shift your circumstances. I'm not going to say change your whole life, but you can shift your circumstances, and it's going to be a lot of it is going to be about just changing your mindset and getting your habits together and making sure that you're being disciplined. And everything else will just start to roll together, and everything will align for you in your life where you don't have to be uncomfortable, because now you have systems in place where you can make sure that you are resting properly. See, I'm just trained to go. I be putting I work, I thrive right now. Probably, I'm thinking at 40, I'm probably not going to be able to do this. But at like 37, I thrive being under extreme pressure.
So it was something else that you had mentioned. So we talked about the taxes and the insurance, but maintenance as well.
Yes.
So there are programs. I know, just like in Metro Detroit, you have the Hope program, you have Wayne Metro, you have different programs that'll help you with your roof, your plumbing, your windows,
Yep.
Opportunity Detroit or Opportunity Windows. I don't know. I can't quote all the different
You just got to look around.
A lot of my clients have even reached out like, girl, did you hear about this new program? So there's a lot of resources that you can use to fix things that are going on in your home before they become a big issue. Like, don't let it continue to get worse and worse, and then your house is in disarray and becomes a distressed property, and now you have to sell it because it's
You can't
not
afford
even
it, yes.
habitable. So you have to maintain your home. If you see something going on, you see something wrong, you cannot let that issue to continue to get worse.
This ain't no situation where you ignore it and it's going to go away. You ignore it and it's going to get worse. Where it can be a situation that $300 or $400 could have fixed the problem, and it turns into, a situation where it's thousands of dollars because we ignored it or we neglected it. A house is not something that you can neglect. And just to piggyback off what you said about different resources, I know DTE, that's our energy company here in Michigan, or Metro Detroit, they had a whole program where they were like, making sure that people's homes were like energy efficient, where they were like paying for new windows, and we'll get you a new furnace if you need one. Just making sure that you had the equipment that you need. So it's a situation of like, get uncomfortable, seeking you shall find.
So just doing your research and taking the time. Because a lot of times, that's the biggest issue. People just don't want to take the time. Can you do it for me?
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. I don't feel like doing the paperwork. Can you just, can you? Like, it's your house.
Right.
You got to figure it out. You got to take the time. Or you got to get a sister like mine, because my sister does a lot of stuff for me. I'm like, hey, you know how to fill out applications, do all the things. Like, can you?
Shout out to Latree's sister.
But yeah, get you a baby sister.
I love my baby sister too.
Baby sisters,
she's going to give me a little workout outfit right now for my little wellness cross. I love my baby sister.
Yeah. And what else would you say is another maintenance thing that people don't think about or don't realize they have to look into?
I think that we can, from small to big. I think that people, because I've experienced this with some of my clients, they move into a property and they treat it, although your home is your home and I'm a landlord and I try to take care of my property, even with someone being there and maybe not doing the best job that they can of taking care of the property. You have to make sure that you keep your community up, because there may become a time when you want to sell your house, and if you come on the block and you're not doing what you need to do as far as like that maintenance, getting the grass cut, making sure that the snow is shoveled so the cement doesn't get all broken up, because we know here we live in Michigan, so we have 4 seasons. That takes a toll on how great or how good we're able to market your property when it's time to sell it. You want to make sure that you are good to the people around you in your community, and you are a participant, a willing participant in making sure that your community stays nice, because that was mind blowing for me. I didn't know that people bought homes and just neglected like the whole area. Like, they'll move in and stop cutting the grass. And I went to a house that I sold to drop something off, and I kept riding past the house because I just knew that wasn't the house. And then it like literally had to register in my mind, like, that's the house. And it did not look like the same house I sold that lady. And it was just like a bunch of stuff in the backyard. The grass wasn't cut. It was just, that house was not being taken care of. And it's just like, when she gets ready to sell that property, she's doing herself a disservice. She's doing her neighbors a disservice, but it will come back to bite you too.
And then you can get, blight tickets and all kind of stuff. So
take care of your property. Take care of your property.
Take pride in your ownership.
Take pride in, like, have pride of home ownership, like Latrice said.
Okay. What's something else that they don't tell you before you close on your home?
Keep that credit together. Now, this is something that Latrice can directly touch on. As an adult, when people call me and I talk to them about getting their credit together, because Latrice is the credit repair lady, and they'll be like, well, I don't want to pay for this. I'm gonna have a real conversation with you, baby. We at that age where you need to have your credit together. So even if you decide not to work with me or decide you don't want to purchase a home, we're at that age. And if you know that you don't have money saved, and you can't put your hands on, $2, $3, $4, $10,000, your credit will save you, and it'll help you go a long way. You need to have your credit together. People will move into them houses, and I've had people call me like, I want to do this, or I want to do a cash out refi, or I want to just refinance my property. And I'm like, well, what's going on with your credit? Oh, I let my credit score drop after I moved in. You're not about to do a cash out refi. You're not about to refinance that property because you are essentially signing additional mortgage documents with either one, and you still have to keep your credit together. When we having conversations about things like your furnace potentially going out, maybe you need a new roof, or anything that has to do with your house for the most part, if you have your credit together, there is usually some type of program or some type of financing option for whatever you need done. But if your credit is not together, you're not going to qualify.
I don't understand why people let their credit go after they close. It's almost like, okay, I did that, I'm done, so now I'll just start paying bills late or something. So it's a little crazy to me, like when clients get their credit fixed and then they're like, hey, so you won't believe this. Don't cuss me out, but remember that 750 is back down to a 5. Like and I get the calls all the time, and it's just like, they know I'm going to talk because
you should talk.
I tell them not to do that.
What about the situations where you have a client and they buy a house and then they start paying the mortgage late, and then they want to sell the house and buy another house, and it's just like, is it twice? If you pay your mortgage late
have more
twice,
than 2 lates in a year,
you have to wait. How long is the wait period?
A year from your last late.
Before you can even buy another house and get another mortgage, like, they have different things in place to protect each other. So you're not going to pay me late and then go over and get a mortgage from Latrice. The answer is no. You don't pay your bills on time.
So definitely keeping the credit together is something I think that's underrated. Like, people don't talk about that enough because life will happen. I had somebody, I fixed their credit, and it wasn't even a mortgage or a house thing. His house was fine, but his car broke down, and he was like, I got to get a transmission, and he was like, I need $3,000 to $4,000. Sent him to the credit union where he had already opened up an account, and they gave him the money. Because he's been keeping his credit together, he was able to get the money and take care of things. There's some renovations I wanted to do to my house, and I just kind of went crazy. I did a whole bunch of renovations all at once. But when I got to the last one, I was just like, yeah, I need like $5,000. Can y'all just give me that real quick? And they gave it to me. And I got some new carpet, so.
Yeah, it's just like, you got to prepare. Like, we're trying to make sure that you guys are prepared, because the last call I want to get is a call from one of my clients saying that they have to sell their house. Now, if you want to sell your house and it's time for you to upgrade, that's one thing. But the call that I have to sell my house, or I'm in foreclosure, or I'm in pre-foreclosure, that's heartbreaking, because a lot of our clients have children. They're taking care of other family members, whether it's like a parent. So we want to make sure that y'all have the resources that y'all need and y'all are equipped. You don't know what you don't know. I learned a lot of this stuff being in this industry, because I did not know. I had a whole misconception about what it looked like to be a homeowner and what came with being a homeowner until I got into this industry. So this is not to bash anybody or make you feel bad. It's to educate you, to make sure that you understand that this is what this is going to look like, and you can come back from any situation. That was the comment about anybody who don't want no money don't got none. I mean, anybody who wants some money gonna have some, and anybody who don't got no money don't want none, because you literally can just wake up and make a decision to be better and make better decisions.
If we haven't said this already, make sure you tap in. Like, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So make sure you reach out. Leave some messages in the comments.
And we'll answer them. And if you are a homeowner, or you're looking to purchase a property and you know your credit isn't where it need to be, one thing I like about Latrice, and this is not because this is my friend, this is because I like people who move with integrity and do good business. Latrice will go over your credit. You have to pay for your credit report. That's a red flag for our credit girl. When you guys call her about, her looking over your credit to see what she can do for you,
don't have $30
and you don't want to pay the $30 for the credit report, red flag alert. She's not going to push and press the issue, because that's not her client. If you know that you don't want to invest a little to find out a lot, we know that there's nothing against you. That's cool. You just Knowledge Tree's client. But if you are curious about, what can be done to put you in position to get the credit if you need it to purchase, to make a repair, or you want to get in home buying shape, even if you don't want to use Latrice or myself, you want to make sure that you have the credit to be able to purchase a home, or even get different down payment assistance programs, because your credit need that. Whatever she charged will put you in a position a lot of times to get $7,500 plus in down payment assistance. Where should they contact you, or how should they reach out to you?
They can reach out to me. They can call me 313-597-0303. But the best way to reach me is going to be clicking the link in my bio. In my link tree, there's a drop down that says credit consultation begins here. So that's going to be the best way, just to make sure that I have access to all the information.
Remind them your page on Instagram for anybody that's new.
My page on Instagram is I called, like you called, CALLED LP. So as long as you go to I called LP, go down where it has the links, link tree, credit consultation begins here, and then we'll reach out to you, make sure we get everything taken care of.
Hopefully this information helps someone, if not everyone who watches this episode.
Yeah, so definitely tap in. If you have questions, definitely reach out. We are great resources.
Yes.
And if we don't know, we know how to figure it out.
That's
we
right.
can find out. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.
Make sure that you send this to somebody that this could benefit, because we all know somebody who needs to hear this, who has called you to borrow some money because they've been in a sticky situation. Send this episode to your good girlfriend, or a guy friend of yours, or a cousin, somebody who you know this will be beneficial for them to watch it.
Somebody that's been complaining about being a homeowner or saying home ownership is ghetto. Make sure you send this to them so they can reach out.
Especially. We'll see y'all next week.
All right.